Hey, how about a little kitchen tour? Or actually a big kitchen tour with a secret little pantry with art supplies right off the kitchen. So there's a living room, which you know, and then you come in here, and we've got a threshold area. Right behind that curtain is something special and cute that we created, and we'll come back to that. We'll definitely revisit that later. But when you walk in, you can see that it's a pretty massive kitchen. And I know people have such small spaces for their kitchen and they're totally okay with it. And that's fine. I also believe you can, if you're a good cook and if you're creative, you can cook anywhere. It doesn't matter how big the space is, but I am very, very grateful that this kitchen is so huge, because actually right at that table is where I do all my artwork. Everything. I paint there, I set up an easel, I cover the table with a drop cloth, and I paint and I draw there. It's perfect. I've got the big windows here, I can hear the birds chirping. I have music. It's exactly the perfect space. And you'll see that it is the perfect space because right over here, behind the orange door, is a pantry, and that's where I store all my art supplies. Since we're in this area, I'll just swing around to show you the enormity of the kitchen. And there's a lot of little different nooks and crannies and areas that I set up to kind of differentiate between my little tiny office area, which is in a little nook next to the refrigerator. And then of course the plant bench. And that door right there leads to back stairs, and there's storage in there too as well, which is absolutely great. And then, now there's not a lot of counter space, but honestly there is enough for me. I'm totally okay with it. Since everything is so incredibly organized, I don't have a problem, and I cook a lot. And as you can see, spices are my life. I mean, I didn't want to fill every shelf with spices, but if there was another shelf there, which is actually where two of my pieces are, I'd have spices there as well. There's backup spices in this cabinet. There's a lot to look at, so I guess we'll start again from when you first walk in. We've got the stove over here, but right here we have a little small dresser that was repurposed, something that somebody threw out and we snatched off the road, and we painted it black and then put these spice colored heavy handles on, and inside there we keep bowls and plates and things. It's a great storage. And then on top, I usually keep my fruit, onions and shallots and tomatoes and whatever I have for produce that particular week. And then some dishes that we use often are out and able to be used and just taken from this area. And then I have a bread box. And this cabinet is a bathroom cabinet, but I thought, hey, we need a little extra storage now that I have the open shelving in here. So I just took some photos from a plant magazine and put them in the doors. They're glass doors. And in here I keep spices and coffee mugs and things like that. And we have that back wall painted black, and we also have the ceiling painted black. And you know that we have our living room ceiling black as well. Because this is a slant ceiling over here, we did this wall in a deep, spicy curry terracotta color, and then the rest is this dark, jungly green. So back to the kitchen table. This kitchen table has been passed down. It's a piece of shit, but to be honest with you, because I do all my artwork here, and we don't really eat in the kitchen too often, I have repurposed this table probably 9 or 10 times. I used to have a painting hanging on this wall back when the kitchen was yellow, or maybe, I don't even remember what color it was. And I did a painting, and then I did the reflection of the painting onto the kitchen table. This table has been everything, every color, everything. But right now it's reminiscent of Jackson Pollock in a black and white drip style. So I think it's cute. It fits in here well. This was a fun project to do, and goes with the black and white cabinets as well. So yes, as I said, I usually just put a drop cloth over the table and set up my easel, and I work here, and it's great. I have my light, and over there is another one of those little small short dresser type bureaus, which we did a little reverse paint job on. And we keep some pots and pans in there and tin foil and things. And there's the microwave and the toaster oven and our really cool retro stove that I think is just, I love looking at it. It's old and it might not be in the best condition, but at least it's unique and cool. Then we go back over here, and I showed you the counter area and the sink and all the open shelving. I've got all my spices. I've got a nice top shelf with another drip painting. And then of course this drip painting as well. So there is kind of a theme, even though I don't like themey things. I think this is kind of subtle and cool. And this is a painting that I did. You can hear, I'm sorry about all the noise outside, but we live in Boston and we live on a main street, and I don't know, the sound doesn't bother me. As long as it's intermixed with the birds outside, I'm cool with it. But this is a painting that I did. It's got that creamy beige and the white and black, and it's called S'mores in the Microwave, which makes sense in a kitchen, I guess. And then I have another shelf here. I'm just gonna shut this light. And some of my line artwork. And these bowls I just bought at a thrift store. 4 of them for like $7 or $6. I've got my pothos here. And there's another painting of mine, but most of the glassware is from, you know, Savers Thrift, Goodwill, Boomerangs. And this door is pretty cool. My boyfriend's an interior house painter, and he really pays attention to detail, and I always have some crazy paint job for him to do. And I tell him, well, no, make the trim orange, but make sure all the little hardware is black. Doorknob is black, and it's just nice. It's like a finished look. And then, of course, because we're plant lovers, here is our plant area. And they're all doing amazingly well, I must say. They get a lot of sunlight. I usually have the blinds open a little bit more, but because I'm doing this video, it's just too much light, actually. I just, this has been propagated. It's doing okay. And he just bought me that little baby monstera, so I'd love to see where that goes. We repotted the cactus. That's new. I keep my easel out. I actually used to keep my easel behind this door, but I like it here. I like the way it looks displayed. And then we have one hanging plant here. We may put another one up, but we're gonna have to put an air conditioner in the window soon, so maybe not. And then right here is our old, typical looking refrigerator. I try not to draw too much attention to it. I put one piece on top, one piece of art, but I kind of just want it to blend in because it's ugly. But right here is my little desk area, and I have to say I spend a ton of time here. I like it because it's totally nooked in here, and I have a lot of things on the side of the fridge. a lot of my artwork and little bins to put paperwork and my calendar, and it's a cool spot. And I have a piece of my fluid art above. And I work here, and it's great. And if I'm doing something at the table and I need to quickly look something up or post something, everything is right here. So it's very convenient. And it's really set off, so you don't really see it. It's like having a little teeny tiny office desk area in a kitchen, but the way I did the rugs, I think it's perfect. So here's a wider angle of the kitchen. And like I said, you can really see how huge it is. But I want to show you now where I keep all my art supplies. Right behind this door is my storage room for my everything that I need to paint and draw. So let's go take a look. I hope there's enough light in here. Oh good, there is. Now right on the inside of the door, we have this little magnetic holder that is great because I usually put notes of to-do lists and things, or if I've made an art sale, I've got the information there. And I usually replace a piece of art every couple of weeks with something that I've finished that I like a lot. This is a watercolor piece that I recently did. And then we've got this amazing, oh my God, I love this pantry so much. Now, we've been here many, many years, actually 2 decades. And this was always a pantry, meaning the traditional pantry. Food items, canned goods, backup water, supplies, and we needed it. But we figured out a way to turn it into this. It's something I really need, and we have another place that we store those things. We don't buy a ton of stuff in bulk, so the space that we do have now as our actual pantry is fine. And now, here's my little art room, or big art room, I don't know. It holds a lot. I try to put everything in categories, but I'm not always, it's not perfect, but it's close enough. So I have all my pens. I mean, we still use this as well for some of our paperwork and our bills and things like that, but generally it's all art supplies. I've got pens and markers and colored pencils and sharpeners and blending sticks, acrylic paints, a little plastic palette, which I don't use very often. These are just some of my brushes that I keep out, mostly watercolor brushes. Paints. I also have more paints here, loose paints. I have more of my paints here. I have my metallic markers in this little case. I usually keep out a few pieces of art as well. And then of course these are my matted, designed pieces that I switch out from time to time. And then I have bins over here that house everything. Those are watercolors. I have my brushes. I have a milk crate that's filled with more drop cloths, more plastic. If I'm doing a fluid art, I need that to cover the floor. But it's a great room. I can just come in here, and if I'm doing a piece, I can come right over here and choose the colors that I want to do, grab all the supplies that I need, and then at the end of the day, even if I'm in a rush, I can just kind of throw everything in here and then organize it later. I have my blow dryer, because I need a blow dryer when I do fluid art, and the floor is crappy, but it doesn't matter because it's an art room. And it's so great because it's right off of the kitchen. And then you just shut the door and nobody knows, and everything is back to an actual kitchen. So yeah, I love this space. I think it's large enough to really feel like you have something pretty amazing. And that's a light that we have that I didn't show you, and another angle. Oh yes, I almost forgot. So, because where are we going to keep our food besides the refrigerator? So, let me show you this side of the threshold first. This is a wall, and behind the wall there's an area, and we are going to break this wall down soon, and we're going to do the same thing that we did over here. So what we did over here is, I just want to put the light on, we created a pantry. We just busted out the wall, and my boyfriend put up shelving, painted a little bit, and that's where we store all our dry goods. He installed a perfect little light on the side. And then when all is said and done and you get what you need, you just shut the curtain and it's perfect. So that is our kitchen, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you subscribe. And it's a beautiful day, and I'm going to open those blinds a little bit more and probably work on a painting today. So thank you guys.